Hi again, I'm Ryan Miller, CEO with Etna Interactive, and we're back today for, well, a different kind of video recording. We're going to talk a little bit about how to improve both your conversion levels and the quality of the leads that you receive online. Now, my intention with this particular video is that you'd watch it once, that you'd share it with your staff, that it would precipitate conversations and discussion, and that you come back to it every time you add a new member of your front office team so that they can share your values and the approach that you want for your practice and how you handle your online inquiries. Now let's face it, we have conversations about customer service and we think about our own experiences. We've all had these kinds of moments. The hard sell, right? Where you get chased out of a store because you were hoping to kind of quietly browse around, learn a little bit, look around, and that aggressive salesperson just ran you out of the environment. Or the exact opposite. For me, usually this is the moment that I have at Home Depot, where I'm trying to find a specific thing and I can't seem to find anyone to help me and answer my very specific and unique question. And of course, the dreaded phone jails that we all get into, right? When usually for me, this is calling my cable company or my credit card company, where I'm asked to enter the same data over and over again as if they never knew me. Right? And so these kinds of experiences, we think about them, they're horrible, they waste our time, they poison our relationship or our respect with the brand. And yet we do all of these same things when we provide electronic customer service. Right? We get an email from somebody, we don't respect the context, and we aggressively try to sell them a procedure. We fail to answer in a timely basis, or we take someone who already has a relationship with the practice and we don't acknowledge that history of that relationship in a context-sensitive email reply. So ultimately, what we want to talk about today is before you respond, taking time as a business to respect the context of that inquiry. Because every single inquiry that we receive, they give us at least two discrete dimensions of context. We have the ability to check our communication or treatment history with that patient. And in addition to that, there's some context that's implicit and explicit with the way that the form was chosen and transmitted to us at our office. So let's break those two things down. The first is the context that we can get from history, right? We can answer the question, have we seen this patient in our office before, simply by looking in our practice management software. And then ideally, if we're using something like a customer relationship management or CRM system, we can double check to see when was the last time and what was the nature of the communication that we had with this prospect or patient. Now, keep in mind, we do have a little bit of a risk here. We shouldn't immediately volunteer, oh, it's great hearing back from you again, because, and here is a reference to your procedure that you had with us 3 years ago. We do want to, if we're in the United States, we do want to respect HIPAA, and we should not be volunteering information back without confirming the identity of the patient, but we can simply acknowledge, oh, it's very nice to hear from you again, and then allow them to confirm their identity so that we can have a conversation that that's based on the understanding that we've seen each other, that we've done business with each other in the past. Now, the form inquiry, I find, is the one that's more often overlooked by clinics today. Now, the thing that we need to understand is, where did this form originate? Did it come from our own website, or was it perhaps on a site like RealSelf or Yelp? And what was the nature of that form? For most of you on your websites, you're going to have forms that are specifically focused on requesting a consultation. Some will focus on scheduling a treatment, general inquiries, and still there'll be other forms that go into more nuanced kinds of registration with the practice, like newsletter subscriptions, contest registrations, or downloads of ebooks. Every one of those types of forms has a different context and a different level of interest and involvement on behalf of that patient. In addition to that, we want to read the body of the message. Do they indicate what their concern is? Did they have a particular question? Because we need to be sure that we speak directly to that as well. And ask ourselves, what exactly is it that we can tell about their intent? Well, are they just generally aware? Are they loosely interested in the procedure? Are they taking a deep dive and expressing desire? Or are they ready to act right now? All of that can be understood when we look at the nature of the form and the message content. Now, that can all transpire in the matter of minutes, because we know if we look at the data, what it tells us that the optimal response time when we're looking at digital inquiries is under 5 minutes. And the longer we wait, the less likely that we'll ever see that person in our practice. And yet, given our own experience with customer service and the expectations that we all know that we bring into our our interactions with businesses, I still get clinics all the time that ask this question. Well, can I just use an autoresponder? Well, clearly the answer is no. When we think about context-sensitive replies, the action plan for handling all of our emails going forward needs to be this. First, we want to set clear priorities. We get it. When you arrive in the office at the beginning of the day, you're going to very often have more emails than you have time to respond. Targeting those patients who are immediately ready to receive treatment or to schedule their next visit is a smart way to prioritize your time. So those consultation requests and treatment booking inquiries come first. As we move through those other inquiries, we want to look through our practice management software and identify, are these people that we've seen in the practice before or that we've recently been in communication with, and how do we provide the most appropriate service to them going forward? We want to consider the unique context of every inquiry that comes into the office, both the nature of the form and the message that the patient has sent to us, and we want to compose an appropriate reply. Now, we get asked all the time, can I use templates? And the answer is absolutely, but you want to take the time to customize those templates so the patient recognizes that your message is a unique and personal response to them and to their inquiry. In addition, the promise of this particular video recording is that it's not just about improving context and conversion, but also quality. When you follow up your inquiries on a monthly or quarterly basis by actually auditing performance, checking which of those inquiries have turned into patients, that's going to allow you and your marketing partner to better target your marketing to those people who are primed to become patients. If you want to learn more, there's a couple different things you can do. Obviously, you can subscribe to our newsletter, but it just so happens that we already have a series of recordings that go into greater detail about how you can use email effectively in marketing and communications in your practice. Just visit our blog and search for Email Essentials. And of course, as always, I welcome you to contact me directly by email. Thanks for staying tuned today.